All right, good evening, fans of Rando. Welcome to another presentation of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We're in the Invitational tonight in Week 3 Duality. I am Taylor116, and joining me in the comms booth is Wolflink. How's it going?
Good evening, everyone, and I'm doing good myself here. So we have Jamo and Homemade Beer on Team 3 Off the Tee, and we have Team 2Pearl2Furious. This is a veteran team here with Scary Olive and Trinex. And we are going to be playing the Duality Co-op mode, and hopefully we'll get those scores updated for you in just a moment here. But, Talon, this is the first time I've seen Duality. Can you fill me in?
Let me tell you all about this hot new co-op mode. Duality actually has been pretty great, I think. I think it's a good co-op mode. So we're going to have both teams are going to be running the same seed. It's 1 crystal to enter GT. It's 5 crystals to hurt Ganon. And so there's 2 ending scenarios. You either beat Ganon with the 5 crystals, or you find the 3 pendants and pull pedestal. Each member of that team needs to do a separate goal. There's no doubling up in this. So you'll see both teams using consistent teamwork to clear the seed and then determine who needs to do what. And here we go.
Alright, this is like a hard container to start things off in Sanctuary. Meanwhile, we have some people starting at Link's house. Looks like it was just 20 rupees there.
So for anyone who's not seen a co-op mode, especially in Randomizer, the teams are in separate voice call channels. They're talking to each other and sharing information the entire time. Tier 1 tree pull is trash, you don't need it. Hey, there's only 20 bucks in Link's house, you can skip it. Trying to find only the core items they need to reach their goals.
Yes, now, I do believe this is week 3 here, so they should have some points, I want to say. What is their scores currently? Do you happen to know?
Yeah, so 3 off the tee is currently 4-2, I believe, with 12 points. 2Pearl2Furious, I believe, only has 1 win. So definitely looking to continue to try to bag some points, as 3 off the tee wants to keep the momentum going.
Okay.
A pretty barren start for the most part. There's not really a lot going on. Finally seeing a key in the mushroom spot. And the drop down has the big key to Meyer. Sure, we'll take that, I guess.
Okay, so they would be 12 and 3 then for them respectively, yeah?
I believe so, yes. On race game, we see a book. Could be something useful, maybe early desert access for something we want there.
Alright.
Alright, we finally get our first sword and blinds up with half magic. My favorite item. Small key to Hyrule Castle, okay, with that sword. Opens that up. And the boots, that's what we want to see. And I think that was the big key to desert. Yeah, it was. Alright, so that book and the big key and boots. Maybe we see a few more pieces to that soon. Nice glove. Alright, Kakariko, the place to be. Luckily, all our runners kind of converged on it at once, so it's really paying off.
Yeah, Kakariko is just so item dense, it makes a whole lot of sense here.
And the lamp. There's our desert. Pretty much completable. I don't have the small key, so there's no logic to it, but you can finish it if you want to.
Half magic as well. So yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff here.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, if I were these teams, I'd be sending one of my members to desert pretty immediately. That's a pretty glaring call or something there you want.
Now, it should be noted that we are using the advanced laser bridge and lamp logic here, which all that means is that the fire rod is considered in logic for some rooms, depending on if you have torches or not. And our advanced laser bridge means we are allowed to skip the lasers and forego having a defensive item. Only a couple... This is actually our first of the 2 weeks that will be featuring this logic. The rest will be using the basic laser bridge, which will require something like the Canis Inferna, the Magic Cave, to make sure that you can get those chests in logic.
Yeah, Bottle Vendor being a big scam for our runners, but overall, Kakariko really giving out the goods here. With that lamp and a Hyrule Small Key, you send one of your runners to Hyrule Castle, you could send the other to Desert, there's still South Shore. There's lots for our runners to do now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some divergence between our two runners on each team here. Looks like 3 off the tees, Jammo is going to be checking the bonk checks, whereas Homemade Beer is probably going to head to South Shore.
Alright, Podkey sitting in Bonk Rocks. Always like a Podkey or 4.
Yep, free bottle there from Scary Olive, meanwhile, in the graveyard. Looks like Jammo will be picking that up shortly. Ooh, big key. Those are Myers.
Jammo going to take that small key and grab Dark Cross from the backside. I kind of like this play, especially not having a mirror.
Yeah, and this is in logic completely, so. Moon Pearl found at the dam. And we got an old man rescue as well. That was multiple health pip, so I think that was the same card we just found there.
Sure, we'll take a little bit of extra health. Our runner's not really packing a lot of defensive capabilities right now. Scary Olive gonna do the mountain here just to grab the save and quit and what's on Spec Rock.
Try next week we'll find the map to Eastern Palace, and good thing he did too, because we don't know if that's going to be a pendant or crystal, and depending on the goal, we need to do one or the other, so.
Yeah, not really sad seeing maps early to try to get an idea of what you have to have long term, so I'm a big fan if you see them and they're easy to pick up just to grab them. But yeah, Jammo gonna head over here, do the rest of Hyrule Castle. Nice fire rod.
Ooh. Yeah, good find there. And with the half magic too, that's, yeah, I would just go screaming in the desert. You can't get to the boss, but if you could, oh man, that would just be a high value check.
Only Beer doing these fake flipper checks with the water walk to grab the area over by Zora. Not enough money to actually get Zora. We'll be able to spy what's on the ledge, but not going to be able to grab this item. No, they're going to run back. Never mind.
Yeah, that makes sense, because very easily you can break the water walk, so it makes sense to use them to check the end of the... There's the hammer as well! The skate series is loaded! Hera, green pendant, meanwhile.
Yeah, that's Dark World access, which is kind of crazy. Beer went straight from Animal Dorm and then went over to Ice Rod. Hasn't done the dam yet, but when they do, we'll find that pearl. Alright, looks like you're doing the escape for the hammer. That's about it. Beer getting that news is going to head that way.
Now, here's the thing. We're not technically having Dark World access yet, because Jammo and Beer have not found that Moon Pearl. It's in a pretty free location, but they still need to go to the South Shore Dam, which it looks like Jammo's heading there now. Yeah,
we see Scary Olive going to go ahead and take on Eastern here. This is a pretty standard play, especially in Key Sanity, to send someone over here just to check all these items and see if you can grab anything. Yeah, so now, yeah, 3 off the T now has the information where the Pearl is, knows that they have their Dark World access. I still wouldn't be surprised to see one of the member of their team head to Desert.
Yeah, going to Desert, you only can get maybe one item out of there at most, but you can check the ledge, you can check Agina, and yeah, there's really no reason not to do a little scouting.
Well, they have the big key, they have a glove, they have a fire source, they have boots, they can beat it. They can't full clear it, but they can beat it.
I would argue that it's not in logic because of the key logic involved with Desert, but they would not waste the key to go to the right side.
Beer, go ahead and do that map check. Has the map to Desert, sees that it is a crystal. Right next in 2Pearl2Furious is going to show us Agina's Cave. Haven't really seen anything special in Eastern yet, though.
Alright, so that is the one item we're going to get is the Quake Medallion. Still one more in here somewhere. Oh no, it's Key Sandy. What am I talking about? I just let that slip out of my mind. First bottle for Jammo. Second bottle we've seen so far on this seed. Oh no, it's 2. It's Tracker. I can barely read it.
Single arrow, small key to Ice Palace, sure, that's kind of nice. Big key to Hera, that's nice. I totally missed what the last one thing was. I did not see what was in the big key chest in Eastern. For Scary Olive, I looked away just for a second. Doesn't look like anything super special. Alright, but you're gonna check with Bob Veneer. See, Ice Palace and Meyer are red crystals. That's good information to have. That's more to that we know. Krynex grabbing the map out of Desert Torch, finds out that Hera's the green pendant, but they already knew that.
Yeah, meanwhile we're checking Stumpy over here. Just some arrows.
Scary Olive taking the death out of Dark Cross, gonna finish doing the front of escape. We'll find their Fire Rod and Hammer, while Trinex goes and takes on Lambo, which is where Jammo is. Jammo showing why half magic is the best, just torching down, and gets their crystal. Kind of interesting, there was nothing in there. I really expected to see something interesting out of there, but no, just a crystal, and that's about it.
Oh, one crystal closer to Gan at least. Gonna check Agina here.
Trinex is going to get ready for their landmine fight. Having not gone to the castle yet, doesn't have a fire rod or a hammer. Is going to have to do this with fighter sword and all the gusto they can muster. Employing some bomb strats, sure. Excellent fight there by Trinex. Way to drop him down. Using the resources they have to get ahead. Sick Kid says, your bottle is worth a shield, and nothing more. Home and Beer having dug the mushroom up in the dig game. I'm going to go see what this is, while Jammo looks like they're going to head off to Dark World. Scare Olive. Looks like they're gonna run over here, grab their pearl. Yep. And I would guess Trinex is gonna head to the castle. The mushroom is worth a map to GT. Gross. It really feels like what we're looking for now is mitts. I mean, they have some Ice Palace stuff they can do with some fake flipper if they want to. Having that, and I lost my train of thought, so never mind.
Alright, here we go with Hype Cave. Meanwhile, Trinex is going to be discovering that Fire Rod and Hammer real quick here. Or no, they already found it, never mind. Alright, single arrow. Ice Palace small. Big key to Tower Hera. Good find.
Alright, Jamo into the front of Thieves Town. I would assume we'll see Beer probably head into Skullwoods then. As Scare Olive gonna go to, yeah, check the pyramid, maybe see the catfish, take that bad check out. As their partner heads over to the, what I assume to be Vu area.
Yeah, we're gonna see a pyramid check here in just a matter of moments. And a map to Skull Woods found.
So not a lot of good stuff hanging out in Thieves Town, but front four clear. Beer knows they don't need to do it right now. They can go off and do more fun things. Scare Olive heading over to the catfish. Hopefully their partner doesn't have to do that. Small key hanging out on the bumper ledge. Interesting. Oh, I think we saw TR as a pendant.
And the TR. Oh, well, that means that ice rod's required.
Yeah, it was a very quick map check, but I want to say that's what I saw. Nice big key to Ice Palace. Yeah, mitts definitely can lead to some fake flipper into Ice Palace if we can pull them out now. Having a small and a big for that dungeon, and all the other required items to finish it. None of the runners decided to go into pod quite yet. It only has one key that's been found, so not a lot of appeal. But it's going to feel pretty bad if there's something just hanging out there. The checks to the Dark Roll are starting to run a little slim. Nice Master Sword.
And Jamo taking a Death Warp.
So Beer, having grabbed that hook shot, is going to go back up to the mountain now. Knows it's a green pendant Hera. We'll be able to go in there, finish that, and do everything on the side over at Paradox Cave.
Crystal Skull Woods, meanwhile.
Yeah, this is good for Jamo. They'll be able to take... this will be their second crystal. So, kind of seeing how the the race is just kind of developing. That you kind of feel like 3 off the tee is kind of setting themselves up. All right, I know who's going to do crystals and pendants now. Just how it kind of works out. See, Trinex. Good.
I just was going to take a moment here to welcome in SpeedGaming 5 here. We're in the middle of a race here. We're about 20 minutes in here with 3 off the tee, 4 and 2 currently in the league. League versus 2Pearl2Furious currently only 1 win under their belt.
Nice flute sitting up in Paradox. Smoking a GT. Gonna be kind of nice if someone could pull mitts here. Yeah, that's another crystal down for Jammo. As we see 2Pearl2Furious working their way through the bowels of Skullwoods, gonna grab their stuff, and I assume send one of their runners to the boss while the other one diverts elsewhere. Monkey to Turtle Rock. Seeing that Turtle Rock was a pendant, we're gonna need a couple of them. Yeah, just bombs on the ether tablets, so nothing there quite yet. But yeah, we're going to see Homemade Beer dip into Green Pantera and finish this off. As we see Jammo grab their Master Sword. And the hook shot out of the prison room.
Ooh, the Smoky Desert Palace there. A couple more items for whoever wants to go over that way now.
Yeah, Homemade Beer, having not gone into the desert at all, and knows there's no real need to finish it, might be the person that takes that dip, like, hey, I've not been there, let me just go do it.
Digging game, meanwhile, happening over here. Lots of digs. Oh, no. Something funny about digging up a mushroom.
Right? It feels a little appropriate. Yeah, we'll see if they want to turn that in. We know it just leads to the map of Ganon's Tower, but maybe they hold on to it for a potential fake powder later. See Trinex taking on their second crystal boss with Mothula, just employing the use of the half magic and fire rod. There you go, runner after my own heart. Just burn them down. Alright, we see Trinex getting their second crystal, so they're well on their way. Homemade Beer takes down Moldorm for a 20 bucks, but also grabs the first pendant of the match.
That's right, and folks, as a reminder here for those who are joining us from that rate a few minutes ago, we are playing the duality mode, so one runner has to defeat Ganon, the other runner has to pull Pedestal to win the seeds. They both need to choose a different goal. And I believe we're not running on average time, if I recall correctly. This is actually kind of unique.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. So, most co-op modes in League run off the average time of the team finishing. Not this one. This one is very simple. When the second person of your team finishes, that is your finish time. So, the first full team to cross the finish line gets the win.
And that makes a lot of sense, too, because it's just how volatile this mode can be, because you guys someone finish is really quick with the pedestal, but then you have to wait for Ganon, so there's gonna be the average is just gonna be so wild.
Green pendant turn in, just giving us 20 more bucks, so not necessary.
No, but it does get us a little closer to Zora, which has not been checked yet.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Alright, so Gamma also climbing up here. Just getting the big key smoky moving. So this tells me a lot about what 3 off the T is going to do. Beer is gonna pulp head, Jammo's gonna go for Ganon.
Yeah, saying that green pendant wasn't necessary for the Saha turn in. It feels like, alright, we've already set our path now. This is what's happening. We see Beer going into Eastern, their team having not dipped in here. As we see Scary Olive going into Pod, just has 1 key. We'll see what they want to do in here.
They get a few checks with that 1 key, I want to say. Oh, found red mail already. I didn't even see them pick up blue.
I think someone in chat helped us out with that. It was on like the Eastern Palace Mickey chest, because I had missed it as well. Shout out Lana in chat, though. It's a great point. If the first finisher crosses the finish line, they can let their credits roll and then come back into the scene if they want. I haven't seen that strat used yet. I've not watched every race. But yeah, it's kind of a different feel. I think this is the first year you can do that in League, is come back into a match you finished, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but the fast forward is not allowed regardless, because enemy leader features are, of course, banned.
I see Scary Olive setting up for the potion camera unlock glitch. And gets it. Excellent job.
Okay, I missed a lot here, because apparently we've got the flute as well.
Yeah, Blute's sitting in Paradox.
And Jammo wasting little time heading back into Desert to check those right side checks.
Yeah, I feel like both teams have to think, okay, where are the mitts? The mitts are I feel like the next real piece to this that really cracks this scene open. Because with your equipment load especially, mitts gives you GT, it lets you flipper in to knock out Ice Palace, because they have sufficient keys for that now. Like, where are the mitts? Never mind. Found them. They're in Pod.
Yeah, on that chest, I think that's Smoky Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, for Jammo, yeah, I don't think that particular chest is locked behind that many keys. I want to say
the big key to Swamp Palace behind the Desert Small Gross. Yeah, that's just behind 1 key, really, but if you have a bow and a hammer, you can even kind of cheese around that by going through the right side, which is what Scary Olive did to save that small key and be able to get into the back to get more checks out of Pod. I like this play.
I also like this play, yeah.
Yeah, alright, we see Beer heading down to the portal. They're going to go into Pod now, thinking they don't have a lot of checks left. Jammo going to go give us some looks into Castle Tower, having gotten that Master Sword. 1 check here, but hopefully it's one their partner never has to do.
Ah, yes, Aga Tower. Check no one wants to do, but there are 2 items up here because of the key sanity rolls.
Yeah, they don't have any keys, so they can check 1 right now. And it's bad. Tridex opening up their flute, activating it. I would guess probably heading right to Pod to follow up on those mitts as well.
Well, Pod's information can help them dictate the run, but with those mitts in there, both runners have to go in there regardless. Dicky to Skull in the Dark Maze.
Okay, game. Nice bow.
Was it a bowlock bow?
It was in, it's in the Dark Maze.
Oh.
That's no big deal. 6 key locked, it's fine. So Beer used their key on the front door, so will not, and yeah, unless there's a key that I missed, it's not going to be able to get back for that bow quite yet.
So that's most likely our silver arrows then.
I have to assume. I mean, I did the seed earlier today. That was super dumb, so maybe not. But yeah, it feels like it is.
Alright, Jambo heading over to check Catfish.
Yeah, the checks for 3 off the team are written real small, so JMO taking some of these really bad checks off the table.
Oh, there's powder.
Did something happen with Trinex that I miss?
I was not looking at a screen. No, I'm not sure.
Oh, they don't have a small key. I wonder if they're trying to locate that small key, maybe? But Scary Olive coming in the Skullwoods, gonna grab their Master Sword and Hookshot.
Oh, Jam's gonna do Zora. Yeah, look at this. He's doing the Houlihan room just to get the money. Gets him most of the way there, but he's still gonna need another batch.
Well, I don't think they had enough money to get into pod, so that's why they did it.
That too, actually. Yeah, now that you mention it.
They can get some of the money off out of the dark basement and get really close to Zora money, but they'll still be just a fraction short. Scary Olive on the mountain, probably going to grab their flute, see if they want it. With those mitts, though, Scary Olive's going to be able to grab the flute and then go right into GT, Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, with only one Crystal GT, it's going to be an absolute treasure trove here. And with the items we've gotten, good chance we can get a lot of items out of there. Although, I don't think we found any GT keys yet, have we?
I was just wondering that. It doesn't look like there's any small keys yet.
Wait, no, there was one in Paradox, at least.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's correct. And to do the left side, that one's going to be enough to get everything you need. At least complete the left side. If they find Samari in there, then maybe, eh. Alright. JMO, gonna do this right side. I would guess gonna save their key and do the back since Beer couldn't be able to pick up that bow.
Yeah, they'll probably get a big chuckle out of that bow placement.
Well, there's a real chance if Eastern's not the other pendant, you know, Beer will never need the bow. Shout out to chat. Shout out to chat for helping us out. It appears in the Meyer shed there was the TR big. We're gonna need that for the pendant person. As we know, TR is a pendant.
Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing Ice Palace here from Homemade Beer.
Jim, I'm gonna try to do some mimic clipping on our bufferless. Oh, it's so close. He keeps getting it so close. Come on, just a little bit more. It's right there. There it is. Nice job.
Nicely done. Nice repack here in Ice Palace. I'm gonna be honest though, looking at this palette on Ice Palace on Homemade Beer site reminds me of like Grape Ice or something like that. It's not a bad coloration, honestly.
That's a pretty good Ice Palace. Scary Olive trying to do Harapot with some hook speed, decides, never mind, we're just going to skip that and go with the bomb method.
And grabbing a fairy for safety. I don't mind that.
Yeah, no, I'm never sad about grabbing safeties. They're there for a reason. Dying is slow. But yeah, as we thought, JMO saving their key, gonna do the back a little bit, gonna discover that bow in the Dark Maze. There's a small key to GT. That's gonna be kind of a nice find for Olive, who you have to think is going to GT soon. Just another comfort key.
Good old classic Ellis bomb jump here. Hopefully you're getting done pretty good.
Yep, nice. Yeah, don't forget your bomb jumps.
And with that $300 and this extra change here, JMO will be able to afford Zora if he so chooses.
Alright, there's the mids for Trinex.
Trinex did spend that key though.
Yeah, if they're deciding, okay, I don't need the bow right now. Without an Eastern or a Pod Binky, that's just not necessary. We're just gonna move on.
Ooh, Olive in the fast phase of Moldworm, but gets it done.
And grabs a pendant. Yeah, looking at Olive, I was wondering if they were going to decide to venture into GT. They don't have a crystal, so they can't, which is interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Olive might be doing the pendants for 2Pearl. But with that bow in hand, they can easily just grab, I believe, Eastern's a crystal?
Looks like it. They're going to need that Eastern Binky, which I don't know that anyone's located quite yet.
Ah, true.
Scale out of using the fairy they picked up in Hera to continue here in Spike Cave. King's Tomb just having another shield.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to having the fire shield. I think that's the better one.
If you're going to get one, you might as well get more than one. Lana, don't hate me.
Nah, 2 is just right.
Spike Cave, just giving us some hearts back from stealing. Another bottle in Ice Palace. I don't think we've seen a ton of good stuff in Ice Palace quite yet, though. And we see the other pendant is Swamp. So there's the information that we need for 2Pearl2Furious.
So we need to find that Swamp Palace Small.
Yeah, and some flippers and a mirror. So lots of progress still to go on the pendant side, but they do have knowledge now, which is important.
Alright, Olive now getting the map unlocked. Or the bird unlocked. Alright, here we go with Cold Stare. Gets him in the corner. And a triple!
That
Very nice.
The splash damage on that last shot was really generous. Like, come on!
Oh, they killed them so close together that he couldn't tell which one was gonna drop the crystal for the prize.
Alright, we see Ice Palace. Not having a ton in it, but does give us another crystal. That'll be good for their partner Jammo, but also gives a crystal for Beer if they want to go into GT at any point.
Smokey the Dark Palace and a piece of heart here. Eyes on Trinex, he is in GT. And it's found Temper Sword along the way, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that was in Hookshot Cave. I think we're gonna see Beer pull that real quick. Or, I'm sorry, Jammo.
There's also Smokey the Gas Area. Wow, okay, good amount of keys here.
Yeah, there's that Temper Sword.
Flippers in GT. So the Predator has to go in here. They need a crystal.
Smokey, Thieves Town gross. Yeah, it feels like GT is the next logical idea because there's just not a lot left and there's almost no good density. TR Small in Right Side of Desert, I missed that earlier when I believe Jammo was in there, so that's good to know too. Yeah, the Pendant Runner in this really has the work cut out for him.
So what crystals... Oh no, Jammo got the Mafia crystals. I guess that would be the ideal one for Scary Olive to pick up, I guess.
Alright, we have Wake to open up TR. Our runner's got that pretty early.
Looks like it is vanilla medallion requirements this seed, so we needed that ether in GT to go into Mire.
Good example here with Homemade Beer going through Hookshot Cave, just going for the sword and then leaving. Their partner telling them you don't need anything else.
Sword's always good. Lots of money there for Trinex there. Bombos. For try next. So all 3 medallions found.
Oh, Prynex getting bopped into that hole. That was some really unfortunate RNG there. That hard hat beetle decided just to go up just a fraction and cut him off.
Yeah, we've seen it happen. No cheesy big key, so they have to leave the big chest behind.
Yeah, that is another part of this mode. There is no GT big key, so you can't go upstairs.
Oh! I was thinking about getting the big chest, but that makes things a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it keep something stupid being locked on the climb.
So does that make sense?
Prynex using a mixture of Tempered Sword and Fire Rod to do the god's work on Armos here. Yeah, as we see, it looks like Scare Olive's going to head toward GT as well. All our runners going to kind of converge on these massive checks.
Speaking of Thieves Town, in the vanilla GT big key spot, by the way, so kind of a funny spot.
Yeah, it's interesting with that big key to Thieves Town. Basically, the Crystal Runner just needs the big key to Eastern, and the Crystal Runner has everything they have to get the 5 crystals and beat Ganon. It's the Pendant Runners in the Seed that still need quite a few items.
It's 5 GT. It's 5 crystals, right?
Right. So we know that Desert, Skullwoods, and Ice Palace are all beatable and clearable. They just got the big key to Thieves Town. That's a crystal. So a big key to Eastern. They already have a bow. That's the 5 crystals the Crystal Runner needs to finish this out. The Pendant Runners, on the other hand, still need an Ice Rod. They still need a mirror. They got quite a few things that could be in some real rough locations.
Well, I mean, it's either the Eastern Big or the Pod Big or just Kane Samaria.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the other crystal dungeons are actually very close to being completable as well. So, if you got to do crystals in this scene, it looks like you drew the good straw on this one. Alright. Homemade Beer, grabbing their big key to Thieves Town. They're done in here, as we see Jammo already in Thieves Town with Prynex. Almost screen for screen, wow.
Yeah, those two are neck and neck here. They were pretty much neck and neck since the big key to Thieves Town was found.
Yeah, shout out chat. Also, the Swamp Mold still needs to be located, so it feels like a bunch of ice rods for the Pendant players.
That's pretty much how it goes with Key Sanity, isn't it? Looks like Homemade Beer is gonna go check Zora. Oh, there's a big key on the Zora ledge. Wait a minute. Did 2Pearl not check the ledge? No, they didn't. They just got the waterfall chest unveiled, I think.
I don't think anyone. This is the first glimpse of the Zora ledge and Zora area I think we've seen from any runner.
Small key to Tower Hera. Oh well.
Basement chest in Thieves Town, just having a compass, but has that small key to Thieves Town, so we'll see the big chest too.
And this is a big key to Dark Palace. That gives us our 5th dungeon clear. And with the extra keys, I believe the Crystal Runner is in go mode if they get the bow.
Yeah, Crystal Runners are sitting pretty good right now, but still a lot to find for your teammates, so won't see them kill Ganon quite yet, I would think.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take out Blind here, just to check to see if the item's here. Although Jammo is our Crystal Runner, now that I look at it. So.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to pull the crystals that kind of went their way pretty quickly. Nice!
Oh! Okay,
Wow.
there's a Samaria. So that means that they can opt to not go to Pod and instead go to Misery Mire. Just look around there. That's another good batch of items.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the right call. They've pulled most of everything out of Pod. Running over to the Zora area just to grab that big key when you can just go right to Mire and finish it feels like a better choice. It may not be the right choice, but... Well, maybe not, with Mir deciding to go in here.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Pendant Runners have to kill Blind. Just adding to the list of things to do. Because I needed that key to Samaria to reach Trinex.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, knowing where Samaria was, that Mir didn't just turn around and go for Themestown. Knowing they're gonna have to get that Samaria and then just let Jammo come in here. Because Jammo can use the crystal.
Well, Jammo can just dive and check and go straight to the boss. So, Homeviewer's probably just doing all the other checks to make sure like the Swamp Small's not in here. Saving himself a double dip would actually probably be good in the long term.
Wow,
oh
okay.
my god, okay,
game, settle down.
So,
well,
Crystal
now it
Runners
worked out great.
Crystal Runners have it easy this seed.
Yeah, that's
apparently.
Great, because now Jammo can be like, never mind, I'm just gonna go beat Eastern if there's nothing in Mire.
Alright, here comes Magic Bat.
For those hot bombs.
Smoky Skull. Oh, Homeviewer's just like, okay, is this it? No. Is this it? No.
Yeah, Beer's gotta be hoping to pull something out of here. Mir. Swamp Small. I mean, even a TR Small just in case. Who knows? A shovel? Sure.
Alright. And there's the Mire key, so that's locked into the Jammo's head thinking doing Mire. So probably gonna skip Ice Palace then, if I had to guess?
Yeah, having Mir already doing that and not really finding anything, that's just a dungeon you're like, never mind. Now, considering how much you're still looking for.
So yeah, it's gonna be Eastern and Ice.
Oh, Beer used their key.
Well, there are plenty of keys in this dungeon.
It's gonna have to go to Fishbone?
Yeah, has to go to Fishbone.
That's rough. Alright, we see Trinex gonna clear out the rest of their Ice Palace and finish this off as Scary Olive goes into into Themestown to grab that boss kill.
Not only do they have to go to Fishbone, they have to walk the long way around back because there's a locked door in their way otherwise. Or we're gonna take the Death Warp. That works too. It's probably faster.
Nice red boomerang hanging out in Eastern. Sure, thanks. That helps.
Alright, one of the Popoys got away from Homie Beer, gets to the room otherwise.
All right, Trinex's gonna drop into their cold stare fight.
Not even using bombos. So, oh no!
Oh no! Just a fraction early on that spin, and the cold stare eye puffs split apart and got him.
Talk about unfortunate. That's a huge time loss.
And the last two checks in Eastern just having a boomerang and a red 20s, so nothing going, but grabs their next crystal for Jammo. That's 4.
I had a really terrifying thought. What if something's on the Pyramid Fairy?
Well, yeah. That's a huge possibility, and again, we're getting to that point where checks are starting to dwindle just a little bit.
I really hope nothing in Swamp that is needed is on Pyramid. I really do. The Pendant Runner already has it that rough. I want them to have something going for them.
Well, 3 small keys, a big key. You know where Samari is. The way to TR is already open. You have a fire rod. I would kind of feel like I would think Beer maybe will head that way, hoping Ice Rod's just on vacation.
Jammo gonna bomb jump over to the Skullwoods Big.
For hot nothing.
Looks like we're gonna get Hammer Pigs here. I think this has been checked by Jammo. Now with Tridus' magic solo, I think he has no choice but to use the Bombos Medallion here.
Yeah, they have enough shots they could get it down with the Fire Rod, but I would use Bombos here and then just use Fire Rod to help finish off Cold Stare.
Oh, Hammer Pigs wasn't checked, apparently.
Alright, round 2 for Trinix.
Gets a little splash damage there. And down
Nice.
goes the pups.
Easy. That's how it should be. Well done. Alright, Jammo's got the purple cast, gonna turn this in. Beer pushing their way through the rest of the attic and then onto the boss to grab their Samaria. Yeah, we know the Smith didn't have much.
No, Smith had something huge. He had the Eastern Palace Big Key. What are you talking about?
Meh. There was nothing there.
Gold
Nice
Sword, meanwhile.
Nice sword.
It's hard to tell which runner on 2Pearl is going to be doing the pendants here. Looking like it might be Olive.
Yeah, it looks like it. Trinix has 4 crystals and is heading toward Meyer so they can finish. Will be their 5th crystal, and we'll have both reds, so kind of feels like Trinix is going to go that route. Yeah, Scary Olive having the Binkini Eastern and a bow is going to go finish this off, just in case.
So yeah, this will be the final crystal that Jammo needs to pick up.
Yeah, Trinix right on their heels is going to grab it the same, but Jammo knows that there's almost nothing that they care about at all, and Meyer will head right to the boss. And then I would guess we're going to see Homemade Beer run right to TR, because I cannot tell you what's left.
Honestly, actually, I would not go to TR right away. If you're gonna be up on the mountain, it may be worthwhile to take that Cane Samari and check right side GT real quick.
You know what? That's actually a really good shout. Just to dip in there and grab those 5 remaining items in case the Ice Rod's just hanging out. Yep, that's a great shout.
You've already cleared the left side GT, might as well just finish it off.
Yep, nope, I agree. 100%.
Shovel turn in. Oh, silvers were apparently in there.
Well, it's just nothing. Yeah,
So
that's where homemade beer grabbed their bow that they have now.
Alright, so Ganon will be free for... Actually, he may not be free for beer. He's the crystal runner, isn't he?
No, beer's gonna be pendants. He's not gonna see Ganon. Jammo, on the other hand, is gonna just obliterate Ganon.
Yeah. So hard to keep track of who's going where, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like both teams have their runners figured out what they want to do, and the crystal runners, like we've said, are done. So we've just got to try to mesh out where the rest of these silly requirements for the pedestal runner is.
I'm gonna I really hope there's something on Vitreous here.
Yeah, same.
Alright, so not enough ammunition here to actually use those silver arrows. Oh, missed the shot. Has to spin attack this last eyeball.
Yeah, they're fun. Plenty of juice in the tank to finish this off.
Yeah, it's just not a lot of ammunition. Look at the bow. Okay, Cape's there. That puts Bumper Legend logic, but I don't think we've scouted up there. Actually, yeah, we haven't been to North Dark World at all.
Well, there's no way to go to a Graveyard Ledge. I don't know if it was scouted or not. I don't remember.
Don't remember either. Still, looks like Graveyard Ledge has something that's gonna really suck.
Smokey to Meyer in the front of TR. No one cares.
Yeah. Homemade Beer would have liked that earlier, but so it goes.
So Beer did jump into the front of TR. We see Scary Olive looking like they're going to run to the right side of GT, as Trinex is finishing the clear out of Meyer. So it looks like, yeah, Jammo's going to run over to GT and scout while Beer is going through TR.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Jammo's already pretty much done, so he wants to help his teammate finish faster. Final bottle found. Or is that our second? That's our third. I'm getting my numbers confused all over the place. Hmm? Ether tablet?
I thought Beer checked that already.
Oh, checking the small key to hit. Okay. But they don't have it.
They don't have it, yeah. Did they just run over to Hera and then like, oh wait, that's right, GT is what I meant to do.
No, I think they were gonna check Hera basement, but they didn't pick up the small key, so they can't do it. So, just a little autopiling happening there.
It's fine. When has Hera Basement ever had anything?
Oh, considering it's a single item check and we're missing single items, pretty good odds, but...
No, it's fine, right? It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, of course, that's the worst Homemade Beer can check it. He does have the Hera big. Or the Hera small, rather.
Alright, and small key to pod, in comes room. Small key to Castle Tower, gross. And that's it. So right side GT, not the answer.
It might. We still have the second chest in the Castle Tower. That could be something.
Yeah, it could lead to it. Well, and more importantly, I believe Lumberjack has a small key on it.
Ooh, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, ooh.
Ooh. Scary Olive having to do this death warp with red mail.
Well, you're just hoping that the Ice Rod's over here somewhere.
Yeah, no mirror, so can't do Mimic Cave. This is starting to turn into a real gross seed. Alright, Trinex grabbing their 5th crystal off of a very good Vitreous fight. Time for them to move on and help try to navigate the rest of this seed.
Small key to oh no, there's the second one.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And if the checks were getting thin before, they're getting real thin now of what's left.
I think laser is just Omega's like only hope. Alright, let's see it. Small key to Dark Palace.
Alright, that's the other pod key, sure. There are some checks in pod that are left.
A small key.
Oh, come on, game.
And the mirror!
Nice. Okay, that's really, really good for mirror, because they can mirror back to Mimic Cave and then get Lava Chest if they want. So that's a nice spot for that mirror. And it was required, so at least there was something in here.
Now, good news, that does give access to the swamp. Bad news, they don't have the Swamp Palace small key.
Right.
But there is still one check there. Small key to Dark Palace. Oh,
That's the other 3 pod smalls.
I'm starting to get a feeling that we need to go to Aga.
Yeah, we see Trinex guiding this red bomb around. We're going to see this new check. The number of new checks that we have are starting to get real thin without things like the obscure things in Pod and Swamp and Castle Tower. So this is going to get real fun real quick.
Yeah, it's a bit entirely worth that.
It's not Pyramid Fairy.
Okay, well, at least they dodged that bullet, because neither one of 3 off the tee is in a position to check that. And there it is!
Gross! Okay, okay. So Ice Rod's just at Swamp Palace, right?
That would be a logical force double dip.
That is awful.
But that's the breakaway for 3 off the tee. Jamo's still going to check some other spots meanwhile. Whew,
Yeah,
okay.
it feels like if you're Jamo at this point, you're going to have to go get that mirror just so you can potentially help check bad checks if Beer doesn't find this Ice Rod in here.
Oh, there's another small key here.
Beer going to go ahead and check this Bombos tablet first, hoping maybe they can just rip right through.
Go mode is going to be the Ice Rod.
Who's ever heard of that?
Inky Sandy is not... It's pretty uncommon. There's our 3rd Meyer.
A couple of Meyer Smalls and almost stereo there for 3 off the tee. Alright, so we're going to see Beer going to Swamp, hope to find their Ice Rod, and I would guess Jamo's going to do obscure pod checks? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Go get that big key pod and do obscure pod checks. Scary Olive pushing through their TR now. Gonna find their mirror and then hopefully go back with that other key and get that Swamp Small. That Castle Tower Small to me would be so scary, though. Alright, before Beard decides to dive into Swamp and when you're seeing some other redo checks, hey, if you like what you're watching, and you should because these runners are great, well, go ahead and consider giving them a follow. Appreciate them putting on a show for us tonight. Jamo and Homemade Beer representing 3 off the tee, and Scary Olive and Trinex representing 2Pearl2Furious.
Yeah, this has been a crazy seed thus far. And we're still just an hour in. This is kind of nuts so that this is considered a bad seed.
Yeah, it's the power of co-op and really working well with your teammate and being able to diversify your work. And, you know, I'm here, so you go there. I'll take care of this because I found this key. Hopefully you never have to do it. And we've seen both teams really excel at that so far in this seed. So, yeah, compliments to both teams to be able to divide up the work and to execute this seed, which has gotten a little rough at the end.
Yeah, but the end is in sight. Just need to find that ice rod. At least for 3 off the tee. Scary Olive is almost there.
Yeah, immediately having the same idea Bear does. Yep, use the mirror, go back, grab this check. I didn't see their small key count. I'm hoping they have all... Yeah, they have all for TR now, so they'll be able to go and get that lava chest as well.
Small key against tower there.
We see Trinex going to probably grab this Binky up store as well. We'll probably see them also dive into pod. See if they can get some of those weird checks that are kind of left.
Nice diver down. Another small key to Skull Woods. And 50 rupees.
Yeah, you'll know immediately if Mir finds this ice rod, because you're going to see Jammo immediately mirror out or save and quit and run.
Blue Boomerang.
Thanks for nothing.
Alright, so last check in pod, if I recall correctly, is the Harmless Hellway check.
Well, Jammo went and got that Binky, so he's got the big chest and can beat Helma if they want to.
Looking like a pretty good cycle here. Not going to be quite a one cycle. Alright, there we go.
Nice.
Clean face, too, though.
Yeah, very clean. Well done by Beer there.
Oh,
Hey, there
it is! Oh, so a logical double dip of Turtle Rock. That is gross. But that is go mode for 3 off the tee.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I think that's it. So they're going to run right back and have to navigate all the way through TR. And we'll see Jammo go right again in here.
Jammo a little low on magic here, but can definitely stop up and get some if he wants to.
I think with Silver's gold sword and a lamp, there's no need. They'll be fine.
Yeah, half magic too. Should be pretty easy.
Yep.
Looks like they might finish it around the... Oh, no. Homemade's going to finish a little bit later, because he has to go through the entirety of Turok again.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate dive, but it was required, like you said, in this one, so...
Scarab does have the small key, will eventually be in go mode. Now, we are going to see what was at the Hera Vanilla Big Key chest.
We'll see if Scary Olive wants to just go right to the back or include the left side looking for this one item. We saw Beer go right to the boss, which I feel like is the right answer when you only have one item left. Like dash poke strats on phase 2, excellent. Dodging some firebirds, bats, sorry.
Already into phase 3.
Yeah, very clean by Jammo here.
Giving him a little bit of the rudeness there with the teleports. Has to be a little careful.
Oh, nice setup. Oh, gets robbed of the triple, I feel like. Should have had that, but yeah, there's 4 arrows and done. Jammo put on a clinic for Ganon there, showing you exactly how it's done.
So if you're a fan of 3 off the tee, your eyes on Homemade Beer. When they pull pedestal and get to the finish screen, they are done.
There you go. Get those G in chat for Jammo. First of the finishers on Restream, first of their team. Yeah, now having to wait for Homemade Beer to mop up. We see Scary Olive pushing towards the back. Trinex continuing to do those one-off checks. Now looking, probably going to have to go thinking, oh, I'm going to need that mirror to do something silly.
Alright, Scary Hollow, I'm about to realize just how rude the seed was. Because here's the thing, normally you would like to put that mirror portal on the exit of Laser Bridge just so you can get back there quickly. But because we had to go to Swamp Palace and required our mirror usage, that means we couldn't do that. So you were forced to do the entirety of Turtle Rock twice, essentially.
Yeah, the last item of major progression being the mirror before finding the ice rod meant saving a portal was near impossible because it had to be locked behind the mirror. So it was going to have to trace all the way through this no matter what.
Well, there was a small chance that it could have been elsewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, you could have found it in the dark world and not used the mirror and died, etc. and so forth. But yeah, Scary Hollow grabs their ice rod, grabs their second pendant, immediately Trinex saves and quits.
And the Triforce sleeps, but not for long, because Homemade Beer is about to finish off Trinex and pick up his third pendant.
Yeah, nice spin, slash there. Really clean run on bosses from all members of this race. Really showing the good execution and the experience from all the runners.
I still can't believe the seed has only been like 70 minutes long. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, just a testament to our runners and how good they are. Just clean and efficient routing. Yeah, Homemade Beer are going to use that mirror, flute over to Kakariko, and do a little bit of running up to the pedestal.
Yep. That's the nice thing about Duel. We get a pedful, and it's going to be the one that ends this race for 3 off the tee.
Yeah, next running up here, getting ready to dive into their Ganon fight. Doesn't have the silvers, and only has Timber Sword. I mean, Timber Sword still sufficient, but a little bit different fight than what Jamo had.
Alright, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Team 3 off the tee, who have officially finished now with an official time of 1:11:11. That is the time that Homemade Beer finished. Jamo finished with a 1:08:22.
Yeah, GG's at 3 off the tee. Bagging another win in this league, showing a really good start here in the first 3 weeks.
Alright, we will see if 3 off the tee will be coming in for an interview shortly here. In the meantime, folks, unfortunately, we do not have usable audio from 2Pearl2Furious, so...
Trinex hitting that torch glitch, setting up these nice triples. Oh, that was close. I really thought as close to the edge as that was, it was going to knock him off.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing with the knockback here from these bats. It's actually just reverses your controls, basically, if that makes any sense. Basically, if you try to push yourself away from the pit, it's actually going to push you in the pit. But if you don't have any input, you're just not going to have any knockback at all.
Yeah, if you ever get hit by a fire bat in this phase 4, just don't touch anything. All right, there's your 12 spins from Trinex. We have a Ganon blowing up. They're getting ready to cross this bridge.
And that bridge crossing happens at 1:12:55.
That's where joined in the booth by Jamo of 3 off the tee. GG.
Yo, GG.
So Crystal Runners had it pretty good in this scene, it felt like.
It doesn't feel good when you are like, I'm like 2 dungeons past my go mode, but where's my teammates go mode?
Right?
Like, yeah.
Also joined by Homemade Beer and GG.
GG's.
Yeah, it was, the decision making gets so awkward at the end when I'm already past 5 crystals, because I'm like, if I go beat Eastern, I'm getting 2 checks, but if I go beat Ice, I'm also getting 2 checks because I'm getting Pyramid Fairy. It's like, it's so awkward to decide how I route at the end there.
Yeah, you as well as 2Pearl2Furious did a really good job of dividing up the work as a team, not really walking over one another. But it definitely came to be the same thing for both teams at the end of, hey, crystals are done. Where's your stuff? I don't know. We gotta find it, I guess.
Yeah, we were like...
There was like nothing until the very end.
Yup.
Yeah, it was crazy because we had like, what, 6 or 7 crystals already, and we were like, wait, you're still 4 items away from go mode.
Yup.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, then that Samaria just sitting on blind was like, well, okay, I guess I'll go back in there and get it.
That's at first we were like, oh, we thought I was like, oh, wasted a bunch of time getting that thieves big key, and then that was there. Like, oh, okay, whatever.
I thought maybe because at that time when it was discovered, Beer, and you were in Meyer clearing checks, I thought maybe you would just leave, go get it, and go to TR and have Jammo come into Meyer and finish it off.
I absolutely would have done that if I realized I had 3 TR small keys. But let's talk about something else.
Cool, sounds great. Moving on.
No, I so the long story short version is the mushroom TR key I marked off my tracker somehow. I think I know how, but it's not worth the explanation. Point is, the entire seed I played as if I had 2 TR smalls, and we were like, where is this other small? And then Jam was like, well, I have 3. And then I walked into TR. I was like,
no, I had 2. But I was I was like, wait, I have 2, but I skipped the one on mushroom. I was like, wait a second.
If I can interrupt you guys just a moment here, could your GG's in chat for 2Pearl2Furious, who has now had their second runner finish their goal, well, and that will be a time of 1:15:31.
Yeah, all things considered with how this ending was, if you were to go back and watch it, you'll see for about the last 20 minutes, both teams were doing very similar things. Your team was just ahead getting to those particular checks. So it was a lot of follow the leader between both teams. Where is the last of this?
Yeah. This is 124 checks. That's a seed. That's a heavy duality seed for sure.
And we are now being joined by Team 2Furious here. GG's to you both as well for excellent showing here. And now that we have all 4 of the move, that end game was
It was just the pendant person going on their own. Hopefully they make the right choices. Because nothing I did was helpful in the least once I was in Crystal Go mode.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I had like so many crystals, and I'm like, what the hell can I do that's like somewhat useful for Beer? It's like, I have 7 crystals available.
So I have to ask, did your pendant runners tell you what they had to do for Go mode?
I think I was just checking things and Gemma figured it out for me.
So, to bring the Crystal Runners up to full speed here, they had to go all the way to Laser Ridge to get their mirror and the 4 Turtle Rock Small, to then go to the Vanilla Beaky just to get the Swamp Small, and then beat Argus for the Ice Rod to go all the way back through Turtle Rock to finish the seed.
Yeah, I mean, we finished it well, so we were just laughing the whole way about the whole way it played out there. So
they also had to beat Thieves Town.
Yeah, to beat Thieves Town for the Sumeria,
yeah.
I think I don't want to say every, but maybe actually every single duality I've ever played, both players have had to beat Thieves Town. Like, feels that way for sure.
I guess the pendant player had to go to GT as well because the Thieves Town Big was in there, right?
Mm-hmm. And
so the pendant player had to get
the
crystal before Thieves Town. So the pendant player had to get 2 crystals, right?
And I got the dumbest one possible.
Yeah.
Wait, so what? Oh, so desert was the logical crystal. That's why it gave us all the stuff for desert super early.
Yep.
That actually makes
sense.
Yeah, Kakariko was super stacked in this scene, but it definitely was pointing you really, really need something out of desert. You probably should go there.
Yeah.
And then there really wasn't anything but a crystal.
Yeah.
I like how I beat Ice Palace. You didn't touch it.
Yeah, I never even beat Ice Palace. I was like, the only reason to do it was to check Pyramid Fairy. I wasn't sure if that was gonna come into logic or not. Maybe that was in logic, I don't know.
I think it was.
Depends if I have the map or compass for Meyer and Ice.
No.
Yeah, Ice Palace was one of our crystals because we were extremely late on doing any Zora checks. So there was 2 things out there that we just, hopefully.
We were solely on Zora checks because there was no money at all.
Exactly, it was just rupee poor. I also had a disaster going into pod. All of us in there first, and told me myths were there, so I bailed out whatever I was doing to go get those. And I ran over there, missing a key, and I didn't have a potion, so I had to go find that.
No.
And then I go to the front door, and I was still missing money for Kiki. So I bail out, go do freaking hula hand, go back to it. So
Yeah. So actually, we were down to like only pod, pyramid, catfish, Zora, I think, when we were looking for the mitts.
Yep.
Beer was in pod. He found the mitts. I was at pyramid, but I had like 60 rupees. So I was like, oh god, I guess I just run up to catfish and then hula hand and then go grab my mitts. It was like, it was so hard to get any money.
Yeah,
to see.
it was kind of weird. I kind of had enough, like just enough money the entire season.
I also entered chess game with like 27 rupees, so I couldn't do chess game. I was so poor after spending that 100 on bottle of enter.
Yeah. This was one of those seeds of all time, as people like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a seed that if you have friends who still need to run and want practice, give them this one. Because, I mean, like I said, there was such good diversity of work from both teams throughout, and then it just got linear at the end and you didn't have a choice. So the crystal runners are running around, what's a dumb check I can do that might help? And the pendants are like, I gotta go faster. It's gotta be here, right? It was wild to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going to TR earlier did make sense. Like I said, if I had the 3 TR smalls, it would have been more on my mind. I didn't though, and I was just like, oh, I gotta find one more. Like that, I just kept thinking that.
yeah, I think by the time I was up the mountain, there's no chance of going to TR the first time, and just my routing never brought me back up there. So it just Olive had to be the one to actually go in and do it.
I was supposed to go straight after Thieves Town. I said I'm gonna do GT, but then I said, oh, we never did the Smith chain. I'm just gonna do the 2 checks, and then I get the big key of Eastern, and I'm like, well, you know what? I've got the bow, I've got the big key of Eastern. Why not just go see if my ice rod is there? And then I got sidetracked. I only found the bow in pod, Dark Maze.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's one in Meyer. Yeah.
Trinex found the one in Meyer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was before I beat Meyer, so I just grabbed that on the way. Not that it mattered, because I had 3 minutes to beat Ganon.
So yeah, I think Smith chain really sidetracked me, and I lost a few minutes on my.
Yeah, I did mirrorless Smiths as the crystal player though, so I guess my time is less valuable. Yeah. Another thing that came up at the end, like we found the second CT small in right side GT, so I realized like, oh crap, it could be a small on Lumberjack, but those CT smalls are so terrible.
I was going to do Lumberjack. After, if I didn't find the swamp key in the
I guess probably Beer, you would have continued on from TR and grabbed that CT small and then probably climbed ZT.
Oh, that's true.
If we didn't get anything,
because I found the mirror. Yeah, so without the mirror, that's a tough choice.
I guess mirror gives you other checks though. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the bumper ledge, the bumper ledge key was Meyer, so it was like, oh, this is.
Yeah, I went and got that one as well. Yeah, that was my first Meyer small. We only found one ever.
Actually, you found a skull small, so we didn't find an ice small and a pod small. That's it. So it's one of those two.
Wait, I have 0 skull smalls though. Did you have 3?
Oh, never mind. Then I found 2 skulls. Okay, just kidding.
Okay.
It could be a skull small too.
I think one was an ice. That sounds about right, but
one maybe one was in swamp for sure, in the compass chest, and then I don't know.
All right, so this is.
Oh, it was also in the compass chest of TR. Anyway.
So this is the end of week 3 for your 2 teams, if I understand correctly here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's been a heck of a series. It's been a fun one. You know, it was fun to play friends, as they say.
Yes.
We got a split. We got some points off you. You know, it's basically the ideal situation. Always 1 and 1.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We
couldn't let us go undefeated
forever.
Yes, the best part of League is being able to run some races with friends, and then against friends is even better. So, yeah, GG to both teams. You guys put up a really good showing. I would encourage you to go watch this one back, because for the first 40-45 minutes, it was really good diversity until it got super linear. But looking at the schedule for upcoming races, there's nothing else on the schedule for tonight, but tomorrow there's 2 sets of races in the Open and 2 sets of races in the Invitational.
Yes, and I want to shout out one of those races in particular here. Sorry to interrupt. So right out the gate, 10 a.m. Here over on SpeedGaming's main channel, we actually have a double header race based for duality. It's gonna be Bow and Sphere Funity going back to back in 2 races starting at 10 a.m.
There we go.
Heck yeah. That's going to be awesome. I might actually watch some of that.
Yeah.
That's how good it's going to be.
All right, GG's again, and thank you all for putting on this production.
Yeah. GG's to all 4 runners here. Yeah, GG's to all 4 runners here. Make sure to follow them. And make sure to follow SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just the Only to Best Randomizer League. Shoutouts once again to my co-comp, Tater Talon. Excellent working with you tonight. But yeah, folks, that's going to do it for us here. So, all of us here at A Link to Best Randomizer League, I have been Wolflink0370. You can drop me a follow if you so choose. But we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Have a good night.